The data was a torrent, a relentless flood of intelligence that Nadine meticulously processed. Every energetic signature from the Syndicate's weavers, every tactical countermeasure they employed, every frantic internal communication they transmitted had been logged and analyzed. It was a harvest of unparalleled insight, confirming their capabilities, their limitations, and most crucially, their escalating alarm. I had finally forced them to acknowledge me as more than a lingering anomaly. I had compelled them to report to their architect. And now, the consequences of that report were upon me. My enhanced chi sense, a perception interwoven with the very fabric of the planar world, registered the shift first. It was not a physical tremor, not a pulse, but a subtle, profound tightening in the cosmic lattice. It emanated from the very heart of the planar world, from a locus of overwhelming harmony that defied comprehension. Arden, the sensory input I received, translated by Nadine into comprehensible patterns, painted a picture of Arden's sanctuary. It was not a physical place as humans understood it, but a nexus of pure, unadulterated chi, a boundless consciousness existing as the ultimate filter, the prime balancer of all energy. His presence was ancient, serene, yet terrifying in its immensity. He processed the Syndicate's conclusive report, the raw data from my drone's interaction, with the dispassionate focus of a mind that had seen the rise and fall of countless stars. There was no discernible anger, no alarm, merely the methodical absorption of new information. I was a novel data point in his eternal observation. He processes the anomaly not with alarm, but with a profound, almost clinical curiosity. My internal monologue echoed the chilling realization. I am not a threat to be eradicated, but a variable to be understood. The crucible of will demands a more complex resolution than mere destruction. Arden's will projected across the planar world a silent, all-encompassing directive. It was not a command roared in fury, but a serene, precise instruction, like a cosmic theorem being stated for the first time. I felt it ripple through the chi, an undeniable mandate shaping the actions of every weaver, every attuned entity. This was the cosmic law that would govern my containment. The directive had four primary components, which I perceived through the shifting chi weave with a dreadful clarity. First, I was to be acknowledged as an anomaly, no longer a symbol resonance or a phantom echo of the old world. I was a recognized entity, an active, intelligent, and powerful deviation. This, I admit, sent a flicker of grim satisfaction through me. My precision, my defiance had been validated at the highest level. Second, a non-destructive protocol was to be followed. No lethal force against me or my redoubt. Containment was the objective, understanding the method. No widespread panic was to be caused. The illusion of harmony for the planar populace must remain undisturbed. This was the most chilling part of the directive. He didn't want to simply defeat me, he wanted to study me. My existence was not a problem to be solved with force, but a puzzle to be deconstructed and reassembled into its perfect harmony. Third, the prioritization of data. Their mission was to extract maximum intelligence from my existence. They were to understand the mechanisms of my dissonance, the nature of my hybrid technology, the very essence of my non-harmonious will. They were tasked with learning how such an entity could exist and thrive within their carefully cultivated balance. My entire being was now a subject for dissection. And finally, the ultimate reharmonization. The ultimate goal remained integration, not annihilation, but absorption. My essence, my unique energies, and my singular will were to be woven back into the planar fabric, purified of dissonance. I was to be a memory, a ghost of a lesson learned. My ego, my ambition, my hard-won precision would be dissolved into the serene indifference of his cosmic being. This was Arden's cosmic mandate, a terrifyingly elegant solution to an unprecedented problem. Then, a new chi signature emerged within the Syndicate's network, distinct from the pragmatic weavers I had encountered thus far. Her presence was softer, more resonant with the principles of understanding and assimilation than conflict. This was Alyssin, the architect of integration. Her mental signature, as perceived through the chi weave, hummed with intellectual curiosity and almost academic fascination. She was not driven by fear, but by the allure of a complex puzzle. She was the hand of Arden's theorem, a specialist charged with deciphering the anomaly that was Malachi. I saw her through the subtle eddies of chi, interacting with the lead objectives or the lead operatives of the syndicate team that had engaged my drone. They were pragmatic, focused on the immediate threat, perhaps frustrated by Arden's non-destructive mandate. They were warriors. Alyssin, however, was their philosophical counterpoint. She represented Arden's higher directive, his unwavering commitment to his experiment. The anomaly is not to be destroyed, but understood. I perceived her subtle chi signature projecting to her team. Its methods are unprecedented. Its integration of technological structures with raw chi is fascinating. We must observe, categorize, and develop countermeasures that preserve the essence while reharmonizing the dissonance. This is a critical study for the future of planar stability. Her words, though unspoken, resonated with a chilling precision. They confirmed my deepest fears and simultaneously my most audacious desires. I was not just being watched, I was being studied. My struggle for autonomy was a subject for their cosmic ledger, a data entry in Arden's grand theorem. The full weight of Arden's now focused attention pressed down on me. It was no longer the subtle hum of observation, but a profound, almost tangible presence, like being caught under the light of an immense celestial microscope. It wasn't the wrath I had once craved, but something far more terrifying, a boundless intellectual engagement. Arden wasn't angry, he was deeply, profoundly interested. This fueled my ego, solidifying my belief that I had finally forced his hand, even if it was a hand of detached inquiry. But it also intensified my paranoia. I was not just a threat, I was a variable, a piece in his equation, and I would not be solved. My sanity, already a razor's edge, vibrated with this new level of pressure. The thrill of being acknowledged by a god was immense, a validation of my impossible journey, but the terrifying reality of being a test subject in a cosmic experiment, stripped of my true agency, pushed me to the brink. My determination solidified into an unbreakable resolve. I would prove Arden's theorem wrong. I would break his experiment. I would shatter his perfect equation. The syndicate's tactics began to shift almost immediately. Their pursuit, which had been aggressive, became more nuanced. I detected new energetic probes, designed not just for detection, but for comprehensive data acquisition. Their encirclement became more sophisticated, less about brute force and more about strategic pressure, funneling me into zones where the non-lethal containment fields would be most effective. I even sensed subtle attempts at energetic communication, attempts to reharmonize my own chi, to subtly influence my internal state. Alyssin's work, no doubt. I absorbed it all. Every shift, every nuance was data. I was not just reacting, I was processing, learning, adapting. Arden's mandate would be met with my own, a theorem of defiance. I gazed out from my redoubt. The vastness of the planar world, a canvas for the conflict to come. Arden's focused attention was a heavy weight, a constant reminder of the scale of the game I was truly immersed in. His will was immense, his power beyond reckoning, but he had deemed me worthy of the study, and a subject, if sufficiently precise, could always find a way to dismantle the experiment. I would not be a contained variable. I would be the unforeseen element that fractured his grand design. The game had truly, irrevocably escalated. My pursuit of immortality was no longer just about power. It was about achieving a state of being that was fundamentally outside of Arden's system of observation and control. It was the only true victory. I turned back to my consoles, my mind already racing through the new strategies, new traps, new methods to generate a dissonance so profound that it could not be reharmonized. a chaos so precise that it would destabilize the very foundation of Arden's theorem. My sanctuary was now a fortress, not just against an enemy, but against an ideology. The cosmic mandate had been issued, but it was a mandate I was bound to defy.